Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, a quick reminder: I'm offering a reward for anybody who will invite me to some kind of gathering, a house party, especially. Uh, and Here's the reward. It's a 2 pound bismuth God of Wells statue, roughly 2 pounds. It's popular in a lot of Asian cultures. And Yesterday I added to the reward. I added 5 1 ounce silver rounds made by Golden State Mint. Uh, it's a buffalo nickel design, and there it is. And all you have to do is invite me to a house party. I would say ideally about 10 to 15 people there, and also make sure that I'm being included there, right? If you're hosting the party, just make sure to come check on me, to tell a joke to make it so that I can react to it and get involved, right? Not much to it. You'll get the reward whether or not I actually make a friend out of it. This is a numbers game, right? I've mentioned this before. I gotta understand why I'm starting to want to make these connections and why I'm offering the reward. Right now, I'm recording this just before Easter. Easter would be a good opportunity to have the party, by the way. Right now, I'm recording this just before Easter, and it is going to be 100 degrees here in the Phoenix area, at least until September, October, probably. And last summer, I didn't have a whole lot of connections, and even to this day, I still don't. And Right now I'm doing okay, right? I teach at a community college. I love all my students. I love my colleagues are good to work with. I just kind of turned my performance around. I had a little bit of a rough patch, but I just turned it around. But I live in the United States. You get anything wrong here in the United States, we are very individualistic, and it is very, very easy to fall into a hole of some sort. Couple nights ago, I almost got into a car accident, and had I gotten into that accident, I don't know what would have happened, right? We live in a culture where it's not very easy to pick up the phone and ask your colleague if they could give you a lift to work. It's not very easy to excuse yourself sometimes, right? I don't need to tell you that none of us have really any good job protection of any sort, right? And so I didn't have any friends who could help me out. Last summer, during the height of the heat wave, I got a really bad case of COVID-19. I so much wish I had a life partner or a friend who could help me pick up some groceries. I was dehydrated, disoriented. When I went to the grocery store, people were really hostile to me. I so much wish I had a friend who could help me with various chores around the home, right? Or a partner, better yet, right? Now, why am I offering these rewards? Because I firmly believe the right person, whether it be the romantic partner or the friend or the important life figures, my future business partner, I believe those people are out there. And I truly, truly believe that if we locked eyes once, we would recognize that. Or maybe not locked eyes once, but spend a night together at an Easter party, I think we would recognize that. And I really think they are out there. And I just need to meet as many people as quickly as I can, right? So that's why if you invite me to an Easter party and there's 20 people there and I leave empty handed, well, I'm not really leaving empty handed. I just crossed out 20 names on a list that's 8 billion long, right? That's how I like to view it nowadays, which is why I just need to go to as many events as possible. Now, unfortunately, the reason I want you to invite me to a party as opposed to just going to a bar or going, part of the problem with me trying to go to a bar or any sort of outing, right? Shopping, go hiking, or whatever. Part of the reason of me trying to meet people that way is that a lot of times when I try to do that, I go to an event. A lot of times, people's eyes and ears get drawn to other things. I'm not very physically attractive. So, for example, one thing that I tried to do is right now, what's really raving on in terms of apps is there's this speed friending kind of app called Time Left. They match you with strangers to go to dinner with. Now, unfortunately, I've only done it a few times, but every time I've done it, one or two people in that crowd usually draws all the eyes, and it's never me, right? And one time I actually the group actually did kind of hit it big. We met at one of the members' homes, but unfortunately, this one guy, it was very clear he was after a girl in the group, right? And he made it so awkward that the entire group pretty much just dissolved because of him. I want to say the flavor I got out of it was that if he couldn't have that girl, none of us were going to. I wasn't interested in that girl. For full disclosure, but he had the attitude that if he wasn't going to have her, nobody else in that group was, and he caused the entire group to disintegrate pretty much. And so, unfortunately, that's the kind of drama I live with. Eyes never get drawn to me, and and yep, that's how it is sometimes, and that's why yeah, the more times I could do this, the better, right? My people often laugh at me, but again, I either get to cross out 20 names, or or I meet somebody important in my life, not necessarily romantic, by the way, but important figures. If I end up, let's say I end up doing this reward program 10 times, right? So it costs me one or two, $3,000. And next summer, when I get COVID-19, somebody picks up water for me at the grocery store. Oh my God, that was totally worth it. Because last year, that was hell on earth. That was hell on earth. If it had a picture too, I should have taken a video of it. I probably do have a video or two of when I was sick, right? Or 2 nights ago when I almost got rear-ended. What had happened was I was prepared to turn right, and this pedestrian darts out into the middle of the road, and I end up stopping in the middle of the intersection, and I almost got rear-ended. If I had gotten rear-ended, I would have had a mess on my hands, because chances are my car would have been totaled. And I'm not really in a position to be going car shopping at the moment. I need a car, right? But I got so much going on in my life. It probably, right now, I talk about returning to the dating scene. It probably would have messed with that too. It's just, 3 years ago or 6 years ago, I rear-ended somebody on the road, and when I went to check my insurance, the person had claimed a bunch of injuries and all that, and I thought, gee, I got out and talked to her, and she's claiming that she got $8,000 worth of injuries. Nowadays, looking back at it, I can kind of understand, right? When you're in a car accident that wasn't your fault, you're still badly inconvenienced, even if you're not hurt, right? So the temptation to fabricate an injury, I can kind of understand that now, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.